More details are emerging from the preliminary investigation into the Mumbai ferry accident. Navy sources say that there's a possibility of steering and throttle assembly malfunction behind the disaster. Navy sources also added that the survivor's testimony has been recorded and that the survivor was seated at the extreme rear. Now, as per sources, there were unsuccessful attempts made at steering the boat away at the last moment. Unfortunately, this disaster took place where at least 14 people were killed. Now, these are the latest details that we're tracking for you as far as the investigation into the disaster is concerned. My colleague Vishnu joins us with more details. Vishnu, take us through the latest as per what Navy sources are telling us into the investigation.
Well, this is preliminary information. It's not a preliminary inquiry stage just yet. Preliminary information on the cause of the Mumbai ferry disaster. As you know, there was a Navy speedboat which rammed into the ferry, which was carrying tourists to Elephanta. 14 people lost their lives, including people on board that Navy speedboat. The speedboat itself was a rigid-hull inflatable boat. It was out on trials, and the preliminary information is of a possible steering and throttle assembly malfunction. Let me explain what this is. Essentially, the vessel was at either full speed or near full speed. And for whatever the reason was, they were unable to disconnect the speed or they were unable to reduce the speed. And there was an effort, as the video clearly shows, at trying to steer the boat away from the ferry, which ultimately was unsuccessful. But the rate at which the turn took place was limited, indicating that perhaps there was a restriction on steering activity as well. The throttle assembly and the steering assembly are in close proximity on that particular boat. All of this information comes from the testimony provided by a survivor on that Navy boat. He was a member of the original equipment manufacturing team. This boat was going through trials, and he has indicated in a statement, as I understand it, to the police, that they were aware, the crew was aware of a technical malfunction on board. He survived because he was seated right in the back of that boat. But he did indicate that there were attempts being made to address the technical problems which took place. Obviously, not enough could be done before this tragic accident took place.